Hey
Everyone, my name is Andrew Davis, and you're watching Conversations in Pop Culture, and we are back to the basics. And before I introduce my guest, and this is a little awkward for me because my guest is my sponsor, which I greatly appreciate. And he has books
Good
like
work, Andrew.
what wait to read the sponsorship, guys. So basically, the sponsorship is that Preston is my sponsor. He has Pocket Jack Comics, and he has books like Palace of the Golden Princess and White Lily and Guinevere, and they're currently being distributed by Philbo Distributions. So you can get their books off of that and check that out. And obviously, Phil's a great guy, and so is Preston, and I greatly appreciate it because you're definitely helping to make this show happen for another year, which I greatly appreciate. But enough about that because there we go. Link is down in the description down below for everybody who wants to check it out. But obviously, there's a lot going on here that you got going on, and you guys have a movie. You have a movie that you produced.
Yeah.
And so there we go, right there. I mean, I don't know what else. But before we get into the movie, obviously, it's Frontier Crucible, which is on Amazon. I think it's somewhere else. And then
Apple TV, Fandango, and YouTube.
I watched it on Amazon, so I put the Amazon link purposely in the description. So hopefully you don't mind, but that's the one I went with. But obviously there's a lot going on. But before we get into the movie, all that fun stuff, why don't you quickly introduce who you are? Because some people know who you are and some people don't. And then we'll get into all the fun stuff.
All right. So I'm Preston Poulter, Pocket Jacks Comics. And I write and create my own comic books, which is why I sponsor your show, so you can tell people about them. And you can let cool artists that you sometimes have on your show know about, what companies they should come and rep for. And you were interviewing Phil, like you were Philip Russert. Were you interviewing him or somebody else?
Yeah, him. Maybe like 2 months ago.
Yeah, so awesome, and you're the guy to know. So there's a lot of connections that we make through your show, Andrew. So it's well worth the yearly sponsor. I'm happy to help out. And this is Diane.
Hello.
We've been dating a long time now.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years and some pluses.
Yeah.
And she did the storyboards for the film.
And for those who do not know, he had not said he was one of the executive producers.
Yeah.
So.
I financed it, so that's why I got to say. And
yes.
And for that matter, my daughter, who is here, but she didn't seem to want to come on. But this was her first gig out of college. She was assistant script supervisor to Danny Gormy. That was his first movie credit, and he is often the editor of my comic books. If you look at the credits page.
Yeah. So I did storyboards for this, and I also worked as just a PA on set since after the storyboards I not needed on set, but I would love to work on a set and see what a set was like. So I did go for work on the set, and that was really fun. So.
Yeah. So I want to get into all of this, but why don't we give a brief synopsis of what the movie is exactly without ruining too much? Because I enjoyed the twist, kind of, but it's not much of. I thought it was a twist. Maybe I'm naive here, and I'll be the first. I enjoyed it, and that's how I interpreted it.
I mean, if the movie is too predictable, then it's kind of dull. So, like, I'm glad you found some unpredictable elements to it. I mean, we go into, like that final, act 3 in script writing, where the Apaches show up and they're all staked. And I'm hoping that the audience at that point isn't sure what's going to happen or who's going to get killed, So I'm glad you found some unpredictable elements there.
Yeah. For those who do not know, it actually was Frontier Crucible was written by, was it
Harry Whittington?
Harry Whittington. Well, it was actually a pulp novel from the 1950s, 60s, 61.
Oh, we may need to pull up a chair for my daughter.
61 by Harry Whittington called Desert Steakhouse.
Yes.
and he did a
Hello,
number
dear.
of hello.
And this is my daughter, assistant script supervisor.
Hey.
That's all
Here,
right.
come on. You want to sit down?
We'll need to find you a chair.
Just lean over.
You could just lean over anyway.
So, that was adapted to the script, and Harry Whittington ended up getting the credit for it because it was basically almost copy and paste from the novel to the script. Although certain things were changed, if you actually read the original, rather than Merrick Bedford, his name was Blade.
Yeah.
Merrick.
Yeah.
And rather than
Edmund, overhead lights. Wait.
Edmund, his name was actually like his name was like Perch.
Yeah.
Like Fisher Perch or something like that.
There we go.
Yeah. So beyond that, it's remained mostly the same. And do you want to tell the story about why it took why we had to rush the making the film?
The real reason. Well, I mean, I guess there were two. We had to
You want
start.
the fake one or the real
Well,
one?
no, like in terms of rushing, this was a low budget picture, but I think when you look at it, it doesn't look like a low budget
doesn't.
picture.
It doesn't.
It looks like a really nice. But one of the things about low budget pictures is like you're trying to shoot it as fast as you can because every day of shooting is a big stack of bills. So that's why we were just like go. We were shooting like 6 days and then 2 days off, and then 6 days and 2 days off, and just trying to get it done. But there was another reason in terms of it was pitched to me in August. It was pitched to me in August, and Dallas was like, I want to start shooting this. Dallas Sonny was like, I want to start shooting this in November. I'm like, 2 months from now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
Why?
But yeah, he had optioned Harry Whittington's novella and invested, some resources in having it adapted to a screenplay. And then the option was going to expire in January. So that's why we had to start principal photography
before January. So
we rushed into getting into starting the shoot, and then we rushed to get through the shoot because we didn't have all that much money to blow. So it was it was very, very breakneck.
It was like 19 days shooting.
Yeah.
I believe it's 19 days. And so I get the script and I have from August to November to do, what is it? About 200.
I don't know.
It was about 240 pages of script. No, it was 146 pages.
Yeah.
146 pages of script without crying. And I cried a great deal. So
because it was so good.
It was you're rushing like every day. And so for those who do not know my background, I was graduated from the Art Institute Dallas. I interned for Walt Disney Animation, and I worked on Lilo and Stitch, the TV series, as well as commercial work for the feature film. But I am more well known for the TV series as well as the spin-off movies. And another film that did not do well in the Disney archive called Home on the Range. And for those who I've never heard of this film, there's reasons why you've never heard of this film, because it failed in the box office. Unfortunately, because I was an intern, I don't get credit. So Frontier Crucible is actually my first official movie credit, despite me working on several video games and several projects in the entertainment business. So
let's actually talk about this, because this is what's interesting, is that making a movie's hard. Yeah. Let's just state the obvious here. I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan, by the way. Loved the TV series. I mean, I actually just watched it again because I love the live action movie. I
So cool.
absolutely loved it. I was
I'm actually like, ugh.
that movie probably saved my life. The live action movie, and then I watched the other stuff because I was in a rough space.
Okay.
Definitely brought joy to my life. But let's just leave it at that. It gave me hope. It's terrible. It's terrible to say that, but I love Lilo and Stitch. I love both, all of it. But anyway, not the point here. But what is this like? Because to write the script, to be involved in it, to produce it, to adapt it, to help on set, and to do all sorts of stuff involving it and actually bring it to life, get it out there, have it on Amazon, have it on Apple, and everywhere else where it possibly is. I mean, there's something to be said about that, whether it's low budget, high budget, any budget. I mean, it's really an impressive feat because so many things don't get done. And so many things get a green light and they fail and they get canceled by Netflix within 6 months, or they have massive problems. So what is that like? Because whether it was pain, difficult, without crying, 6 weeks to do a script, shooting it in 19 days, I mean, it's impressive.
So calling from someone who's worked in the entertainment business, every single video game that I have worked on has never finished. I've worked on 3 to 4 video games. And for whatever reason, they mismanagement, funding gets taken away, company merger, which has all happened to me. And then they just lay you off. And then the project's never finished. So for those, I've gotten no credit for, all the work taken from me, and and also not getting paid for the last couple weeks because of whatever reason that happened. And Disney at least sort of paid me. So they,
all right, Disney.
Yeah, the mouse. So no, not really. When you're an intern, you don't get paid. So, but you end up working other things. So you have to understand, I was doing full-time work plus basically 2 full-time jobs with part-time pay. So thank you, Disney. So, and seeing that happen, and then you're working so hard, not get credit, but it's on your resume. It helps, but then this project comes in and you really want to do well, and even if it seems small. And I've actually PA'd for Haunted Mansion, the one with Eddie Murphy, at one point, just a few days, but that was boring because you're in an entire room of green screen. And this was out in the open, in the elements, in the sun, in the heat, in the cold. Our coldest day was awful. But
there's a movie we made.
Yes, which was this coldest day of Frontier Crucible. The coldest day in Frontier Crucible was
transitioned off of Eddie Murphy.
No. I'm saying
I was following.
All right, I wasn't following. I'm like, are we talking about Eddie Murphy?
No. I said that when I was PAing for Haunted Mansion, I was all indoors.
Okay.
In a green screen room.
There we go.
And then
completely unlike
this
being
film,
in the elements. There we go.
Being in the elements, in Monument Valley.
Yeah.
Getting lost in Monument Valley also.
we had to shut down production on day 2 because they worried lightning might strike.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
I also remember the day we had to get in our cars for a few hours.
That was when we had this there's lightning storms, and we have all this equipment.
Yeah.
Everyone pack up. Yeah, pack up. Go inside. Hide inside our metal cars.
I hung out with Army Hammer and Bar, what's up? Yeah.
What's up? So, and then we were out in the night shoots at 3 to 3 a.m.
3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Yeah.
3 p.m. to 3 a.m.
And then my daughter, what a trooper, came home and did 2 hours of homework.
Yeah. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, and we were all like exhausted.
Yeah.
And it was just rough. And it was like 21 degrees out, like at its coldest.
Well, it would be rough because it was the desert. So in the morning we'd come in like jackets, we were like freezing, and then we'd have to just take it all off because it would be burning hot, and then we'd have to put it back on and like get warmers on because it'd be cold again at the night. Like,
like, and it was just like the minute the sun goes down, everybody gets up the little warming packets.
Yeah.
So,
and, like,
let's actually talk about this a little bit because I don't know. I know nothing about making a movie, right? I'm an indoors guy. I hate nature. It doesn't do it for me. If I go out and walk to my mailbox, that's enough nature for me for like a week. Every day I do it, but to get my mail, that's as far as it goes, right? But like, what is that like? Because in today's age, I would imagine that there's a lot of studios that are indoors. There's a lot of green screens, a lot of special effects, but shooting something actually in elements in nature. It's like one of the reasons why I love Yellowstone. Just in nature, I love Yellowstone because I feel like I'm seeing Montana, right? And I don't think that's in a Hollywood studio the same way that like Avengers is shot. Like there's a sense of like the wilderness, and that's what I got out of this movie is that at least you're not shooting in a green screen, right?
Yeah.
Be said about that.
I will say this: in order to get to the set, we had to climb down a mountain, and the toilets are up there. So we have to climb half a mile down. And then if you want to go to the toilets, you climb half a mile up.
How much do you want to go?
It's like, how much do you want to go? So, and it was 2 porta potties, usually with no toilet paper. So we had to buy toilet paper. No, we had to buy the toilet paper. So, and then like stock it. Like
she's the one who was in the store, dude.
Yeah, I was there. But then
I went to the store every day, yo.
Yeah,
I don't know anything. I was just
we had to go for like toilet paper, and then to the point where everyone said like, I'm not going up there anymore, and we just go behind the tent.
Yeah.
So.
But when it comes to movie genres, particularly for like low budget filmmakers, horror is a big one. People like it. Oftentimes it's like dark, so you don't have to do as much set dressing because you don't see as much of the set. It's all kind of shadowy, and a lot of times you can get away with like a house, or limited locations, but they're usually interiors. The other, as I've discovered, the other fairly inexpensive genre to shoot is westerns. Because you don't, unlike renting a building, and you set up some tents in the outdoors and bust out the camera and away we go.
Yeah.
You just got to rent some horses.
As we're saying, it helps to have some horses.
Yes.
Helps to have horses.
Yeah.
And our animal
mules.
Yeah, our script called for horses. They became mules. So
yeah, and our animal wrangler.
Yeah, we had an animal wrangler.
We had an animal wrangler for the snake and the
spider.
And the spider, which is a giant tarantula.
Yeah.
Which she assured me was very socialized.
Yeah.
And very kind.
And then she pissed it off.
And then she pissed it off and it bit her. Yeah. So.
Yeah, apparently. So there's the scene where it's
Army's
Edmund Army Hammer is manipulating the spider. So there's one scene where we see Army's face and he's pulling the leg. That's just a puppet. But there's another scene where like it's like a gloved hand and it has the spider. That was the animal handler. Because
he refused.
Because he refused. Didn't want to touch it. Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Because she's like, oh yeah, it's socialized, and then it like bites the shit out of her, and she's trying to get it off, and it's hanging on by its fangs, and she's like, and I was like,
no.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
It was great. It was just his face was like.
Yeah.
No,
I'm out.
I'm out.
I don't even know
But,
what to say. I don't even know what to say because I know the scene and like I don't even know what to say. It's just like
so a lot of the things that we I have to put out for is our craft services was wonderful. I know that Jeff Don, which is our makeup artist, Oscar-winning makeup artist,
Indeed.
by the way, who's worked on basically every Arnold Schwarzenegger film
Yeah.
out there. Won his Oscar for Terminator 2 with Stan Winston,
Yeah.
and he was on our set. And he
was.
said that I've been on sets where there are no craft services, where there's no food, no water. It's like, so this is luxury.
He was
right
like
here.
the grizzled Hollywood veteran.
Yeah, he was the grizzled Hollywood veteran.
And I mean,
And
I don't want to talk.
but let me
Yeah.
go. And one of the things that was like a daily routine for the cast was Thomas Jane having his tea,
Yes.
Army Hammer making his cowboy coffee.
Yeah.
So he bought like a little cappuccino thing,
Yeah.
and he would make a little fire and just
Yeah.
boil coffee in his little canteen and share it with because we also had a campfire because it got so cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so
we started making s'mores.
we made s'mores with everybody.
Yeah.
Our guy plays Billy and Miles. They brought poetry books,
Right.
Yeah.
and we would read poetry to
Right.
each other, and everybody would always like shove one to Army because he had such a fabulous voice, and then he would read the poetry. So we wrote,
Aw.
yeah.
I never got to be there. I was on set.
I know
Yeah.
you were on set.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on set.
Slaving away in the cold
The best time
on my
was-
short little
yeah.
chair.
And your short little chair, and then you had to fight for the chair.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You had to fight for the chair because we don't scriptwriters don't need chairs. No, she needs a chair.
Right.
She needs a chair now.
There was some departmental war
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some.
So let's talk about this too because this is fascinating, right? Because there's obviously the stuff because not every scene or not everything is happening all at once between all these people in the movie, right? And there's different scenes with different people, and there's moments you get to have, and then your daughter was not getting to participate in all the fun shenanigans offset. I mean, what is that like? Because it's like. I can't explain it, right? So, like, I'm privileged as an interviewer that I get to have off-screen conversations with people, and I get to have on-screen conversations with people, and I've had intimate moments with people. And maybe intimate's not the right word because I don't want to make this sound like a sexual overtone here. But I've had to have personal moments with people, right? And so, what is that like? Because obviously, if you have an Oscar award-winning person who's doing the makeup and you have top people and Dallas obviously was involved in Bone Tomahawk and is involved I think with the Daily Wire. I mean there's something to be said about you're going to have interactions with people, you're going to have conversations with people, and certain things I guess are personal, right? I don't know how to explain that any other way. So like that's what's interesting. The other side of this whole movie is that it's not just a bunch of new kids on the block doing something. There's some serious people who are involved in this.
Yeah, that's why it looks so good.
Yeah. So we had Maxime Alexandra as our cinematographer, and I was surprised at his filmography when I looked at it. So what an amazing DP he was.
He did Shazam.
He did Shazam, but my favorite is actually he did the remake of Maniac with Elijah Wood, and which is a wonderful film.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I love that film.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know.
No, I showed you it, and you were just like, yeah. Too much blood.
Yeah.
So much
he has a lot of horror movies.
He has actually a lot of horror movies. And Mirrors was in one.
With Crawl.
Crawl was really great. But he actually worked on Pendragon as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
In
know.
fact, it looks very good.
He did at least the opening.
Yeah.
The pilot. I don't know if he did the rest.
Okay.
But he at least did the pilot.
Yeah.
So and the cast loved you because
thank you.
yeah, everyone like complimented you and the
I tried.
cast.
Yeah.
So they loved working with you, and I was not there for the actual most of the filming because I'm at base camp.
You're PA, yeah.
Yeah, I was PA doing base camp and security and stuff, and making sure that the people who passed by weren't making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So, and
Did you ever get yelled at doing that?
yes,
I did too.
I got yelled at a lot. I got
Yeah.
yelled at. I got cussed out like
Yeah.
a couple of times too.
Yeah.
So
So we filmed for the most part in Prescott,
Yeah.
and they had selected this area, which was just off of a hiking trail,
Mhm.
yeah,
and we got permits from the city of Prescott, and
Yeah.
they were real happy, and the Arizona Film Commission dropped by, but the local hikers were like, "You're not supposed to have
They
cars up
hated
here.
us.
Yeah.
Where are you have all these trucks? You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be here." Like,
and then they would argue with us
Yeah.
loudly.
yeah,
So as they were filming
yeah,
half a mile down,
yeah.
and they're up high, so
Yeah.
they carries down.
Mhm.
And then but also like you're also carting people back and forth,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like the special effects artists need to go this way, oh we need to get an extension cord, we need now go to Hobby, go to Lowe's, go to this, do this, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah. We're missing, the fuel's gone, we need that for the
Propane.
heaters, the propane
Propane.
for the heaters and everything.
That was my job towards the end of the movie.
Yeah,
too.
it was like a
just
lot of water and
A
propane,
lot of water, a lot of propane.
a lot of water and a lot of propane. Getting the actors back and forth, getting set and props back and forth, and people are just. It's also understand that Prescott is mostly a retirement community with the elderly, and they're generally very grouchy people who don't like Californians. So, and we were blamed for being liberal Californians.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like all the time. So you liberal Californians, how dare you come into our city and blah 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 blah. And we were like, some of us are local, and I'm from Texas. Bye.
So obviously, basically, what I got out of this is making a movie is hard. That's what I've gotten out of this whole situation. Isn't it?
If you want to make
Yeah.
a good movie,
Yes.
if you just want to make a movie, that's not as demanding.
Obviously,
I've worked on
Yeah.
both union and this is a non-union
This
one.
was definitely not. Yeah.
Definitely non-union. Like, well, yeah. And union is cushy in comparison to this. And this was like one of the hardest gigs. Having worked,
But you got a film credit.
But I got a
out of it.
film credit out of it.
That's
That's
pretty
nice.
cool.
That's nice. Thanks.
Sure.
So it's obviously, I mean, I don't want to ruin the story. I found it to be fun, but not a big cast. You know,
No.
tight. You get to kind of really know these characters. You get to know who they are. You get to know what they stand for. Obviously they're interesting characters. I liked one of the characters that something happens to, but I don't want to ruin the movie too much. I will give the little thing that he tries to sell his wife. So
Take my wife, please. Yeah.
I digress on that.
Argument on set. I also loved when Eli, the guy who plays
that character.
character actually,
Yeah.
and you have to understand it had just froze the night before, and we were doing the crucible scene. And he goes, "I'm going to commit."
No, that wasn't the cruise scene.
no.
That was the final showdown.
That was the final showdown. That's right.
Yeah, the final showdown, and he'd gotten killed.
No spoilers
Oh,
in the
okay.
interview, Dad.
All right, sorry.
Oh my God.
He had.
He was lying
He was
down on
lying
the
down
ground. On
on
the
the
I
ground.
want to say I don't really care. You can say whatever you want to say.
lying down on the ground.
Yeah.
He was laying down on the ground, and it froze the night before, so it's freezing
Yeah.
this ground. And he goes, "I'm going to commit," and smashes his face into the dirt.
Yeah.
So
Oh my god.
You can say whatever you want to say. It's an open show, but
and
you know,
it was also
I
like
enjoy a bunch of
so
stuff in
I'm
this.
very lucky that he was not.
Oh,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was very lucky
Well,
that
I mean, he knew what was in front of his face.
That's
it wasn't
true.
like, oh my gosh, I didn't know there was this cow pie here. I mean, wow. Anyway.
but we did have to have a shovel and move
Yeah, there's plenty
move
of
a-
that.
move
Yeah.
a lot of
I
cow
did
pies.
some of that.
Yeah, we did a lot of that. So
I didn't.
no, but I did, and
Yeah.
and even the horses down the trail, bringing the horses up, getting from the mountain down this very precarious trail, and then you have to scoop up all the
Mhm.
poop that they left behind,
Yeah.
and then like they have to go back up, which was like I have no idea how the horses did that, because it was so hard for us to get up and down that
Horses are
trail.
bigger.
Mm.
Yeah, but they're also heavier.
So, got spindly little legs.
Spindly
man.
little
They're
legs.
stronger.
Oh my gosh,
Mm.
spindly little legs.
Yeah.
And I love that Tate and Sandy are special effects people. They
Yeah.
they hated going up those mountain stairs, so they went up a cliff. They
Yeah.
literally went up a
Yeah.
cliff like a giant
I
incline.
did that a couple of times.
Yeah, because it was just faster.
Yeah, it was faster.
It was
Yeah.
just faster.
So many things I could say. So many things I could say. But obviously, I mean, I want to get into the other side of this, because obviously the movie came out
Mhm.
Yeah.
all over the place. And what is that like? Because I mean, you get a film credit, right? Which is awesome, and it's cool when you see your name and you get credit for work you've done. Obviously, you're executive producing it, and then I would imagine. I mean, obviously, there's the financial gain from that as well. And I'm presuming it's a royalty or a signed option. I'm not exactly sure exactly how this whole thing works. But obviously there's money incentives that come back to you as a producer. And also it's kind of cool to say I made a movie, or I was in a movie, because you're building a resume and it gives you credibility. And
It means a lot to her family.
Who's family?
He's making fun of your family.
Okay. My family. Okay, let me explain this, some context. My family's Asian. Understand that.
Clearly.
I understand it's Asian, so they expect perfection from you. And then he would come over after the film was done. Christmas came along. He came to my family party for Christmas. He goes, "We finished a movie." That's nice. It's just like that, and he was so kind of blown away by like nobody
The
caring.
level of apathy.
The level of apathy when it comes to his family. He's like, "Tell us all about it and
Yeah.
everything." And then my family's
Had
like,
William H. Macy there.
"Well, yeah." And then my family's like, "That's nice. You are not a doctor and you're not a lawyer. They don't
Right.
care."
Yeah.
Sorry. And you also have to understand, they know that I've worked in entertainment. They know that I've worked on Lilo and Stitch. They still don't care. So they
For the
don't
most
care.
part, like no one's really heard of the film, which is why we're here talking to you, Andrew, so we can promote
Yeah.
Frontier Crucible. But it's a lot of times people will care when I show them the trailer. They learn who's in it, so they think that's pretty cool. So it's this cool thing you did.
Mhm.
Like climbing Mount Everest, or wreck diving.
Wreck diving.
Wreck diving. Yeah, you could be like, oh, hey, here's I went to
that's good.
Guadalcanal, and dived into this Japanese battleship. Here I am.
Oh, wow.
It's this cool
Okay.
thing you did
Yeah, okay.
that you can show.
The reason I ask this though is that we're in a weird space right now with entertainment, whether it's a novel, comics, and all this stuff is getting adapted, and it's getting adapted independently. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying it doesn't take a lot of work, and it's hard to do it, right? But what I think is going on is that it's happening a lot more now than ever before. And the reason why I think it's so interesting is that when anybody does an independent film, whether it's from an old book, a comic, or anything, and it shows that it can be done, I wouldn't say it's easier to do it the next time, but it shows it's possible to do it the next time, right?
Yeah.
And it's breaking the mold. So now I don't think it's so uncommon to say, and also if you do it the first time or the second time or the third time, by the time you get to the fourth time, this becomes easier, right?
Sure.
If you want to keep doing it. But it also shows in the Kickstarter world that if you have a comic book, it's very possible to do this. It's very possible to adapt it. And that's what I think is so interesting, is that whether it benefits you economically or not, you're breaking the mold and showing that it's possible to do something like this. And it's different, I guess, because you're doing comic books and you're doing good comic books and you're a comic book guy, is how I'm viewing it. And I don't mean to put you in a box when I say that, but like that's how it's viewed, at least how I see it. And that's how I think it's going to be viewed partially by a lot of people is Preston Poulter, a comic book guy, did a movie, which means I can do a movie too, and I can adapt something into a movie. And it's now not in this atmospherical, impossible thing. It's can happen, and it not saying it's easy, but like that's how it's viewed in my opinion, at least. So like, sorry, I mean, I don't know what's funny about it. Me doing my.
No, we're looking at like the little left
You're trying to cut me
stream
out of the frame.
where it's just this very narrow thing. We're all kind of leaning in, like.
Hi.
I don't know. Sometimes I say something that's going on, and I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's
My
like
knees hurt,
Avery.
man. I've been kneeling
But
down.
yeah, they were talking about comic books, and yes, having made a movie certainly makes it easier to make the next movie.
No, I'm fine. I'm good. Maybe.
So like there's indie film is at an interesting spot right now. Everyone's worried that maybe we won't make any real movies anymore. It'll all be prompts in AI. And who knows? But,
Yeah. So I will have to say, right now, I think this is a good time that independent films are coming out. I think it's mostly because we're in this really weird juncture where everything's an IP and everything's a remake or reboot or some type of like
a spin-off.
A spin-off, an IP, some type of coming from like some really huge
or like an adaptation
of a book talk book. And now what's going on now is like people are now thirsty for original stories.
Yeah.
And original content, because I really don't want to see like another adaptation of like something that's been done 5, 6 different times. So we're getting that fatigue.
We are at the end of the
like comic book
of the movie making style that Tim Burton's Batman started, where they made the Batman movie, and it was a big success, and they had all this marketing and promotion, and the movie was a kind of like a promotion for the video cassette, which then came out and became this big phenomenon, and there was all these toys, and the Hollywood studios are like, that's amazing. Let's that's an existing IP, and we could just do that
again.
Let's do that again and again and again.
And I was showing him one of my favorites back when I was growing up, which was Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
And I was telling him like, this is what Warren Beatty's doing.
Yeah.
And he's gonna hold on to that IP till the day he dies.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting you bring this up because I think very few IPs can do that, right?
Yeah.
An IP that I think could keep repeating itself or keep adding to it, right? I think Avatar: The Last Airbender does it well. I think they have done amazing because they've done 400 years before. They've done all these books. They're doing, a movie's coming out in October. Then another anime series is coming out in 2027. But they keep reinventing it. And the reason why is that it was massively popular. The anime had a revival on Netflix during the middle of COVID. And it changed the whole position because the next generation, because my generation is having kids and we're showing our kids this stuff. And parents and their children are watching it together. But I think this Marvel stuff clearly after Endgame has failed because I think people are sick of it. And I think people are starving for new content for new IPs, and I think they're just sick of the bullshit because there's only so many times you can repeat something. Like nothing against Doom and Fantastic Four, Avengers, Doomsday, but like I could care less about it, to be quite honest. I mean, to me, I feel like it's been done.
Which one? Oh yeah, Doomsday.
I forgot it was coming out.
Yeah,
I was
like, that's why I was like really impressed with like Sinners when it came out, and I came in that film blind.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was a musical.
They did a good job.
So I didn't know it was a kitchen sink film. So
was that Michael B. Jordan in that?
Yeah.
He was in it twice.
Yeah. Twice. Yeah, twice.
Because he's playing
twins.
Yeah, he's playing twins.
Yeah.
So
and then like things like Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that was like, I had no idea that a film like that would break like the box office at all. It's such a gonzo film. And as a like, there's content out there that people are desperate to want to watch. And I'm kind of glad that Westerns are coming back. And it is so I have noticed this as a film buff and a film history buff. Generally through times of desperation, certain genres always come back. Among them is horror, anytime, and musicals and Westerns. Those are like the three big ones. Of course, fantasy as well, fantasy, sci-fi, but fantasy in particular. But because all this is like, one, you have, we had with the Westerns, it's this idealization of good versus evil, and it's like, who the bad guy is, who's the good guy is. Also, the Wild West. There's lawlessness. What is order? What is this?
It's about like you can't rely on society. Like if there's a right thing, the Western basically begs the question of what is the right thing to do in the absence of law.
Yeah. And then you have musicals, which is basically just you're basically like thrown into a world where it's escapism. And then with horror, you're facing your worst fears in the safety of a movie. And you could do any sort of fear, may it be political, may it be physical, may it be mental, may it be psychological. And those genres will always come back in full force. And it tells you a lot about what is going on now in the world. And so the fact that Westerns had that break and is now coming back is an interesting thing, and it's also very good for those who want to do more independent stuff because it's cheap to make. A good deal of the time. And it's also now that we're in this huge pit where everyone's so sick of CGI. Everyone's very sick of the AI stuff.
Because they've been talking. I mean, they're obviously AI. I mean, and CGI as well. But like this,
you're not seeing real movies anymore.
Yeah, and you were watching videos about it, like where you have people acting in front of a green screen, and at the time they're doing it, they're not even sure what the background's going to be, and like people, actors standing in front of a green screen, it has a certain look.
Yeah.
Whereas, in our movie, and, big credit to Maxine, director of photography, we got these cool shots of, like the wilderness and the actors and the sun and,
like going to Monument Valley and just seeing this is where John Wayne stood and looking at all the landscape and everything's like that's real. That's not a green screen. That it looks just like that. It looks like a painting. And and I remember like looking at the rough cuts and just going like, it literally looks like we're in front of a green screen because it looks so much like a painting. So I was just like, I wonder how that's gonna look on the big screen.
But I mean, that opening Monument Valley, we shot it from so many different sides, and that's the other thing that you can't really with green screens is you're shooting it from so many different sides. So you get,
And
360 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that crow that kept following us. That was a real crow that just wouldn't leave us alone.
No, again. I think it's fascinating, right? Because obviously, I mean, I'm an AI guy. I'm a CGC guy. You know, I like all the graphic stuff because I think that stuff is cool, right? And some things you can't do. But I also think that there's a position where it's like the saying is you got to touch grass.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense. Where it's like, I don't know. I mean, today, I went to Target and like I was out in and I saw my lawn, right, and I saw nature and I saw wind blowing my bushes in my house, right. Like there's something to be said about that. And I know it sounds really weird and corny when you say it, but like if all you're seeing is graphics and like purple plasma lightning that is not real, I mean, and if you keep seeing that in movies, like it gets old fast is all I'm going to say. But again, I don't know how to make a movie. I'm not an expert on this, but I think it's fascinating, right? I think it's fascinating.
What I found really fascinating on set is like how chaotic it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the weather and like Eli's shirt had all this blood on it, and because it was so cold, the blood would freeze.
Yeah.
And so his shirt would get frozen with all this blood, and then the prop master and makeup people had to take like hair dryers and like melt the blood back because it was icicles. So things like that. The special effects for mule scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Tate loved that. And
did you like the part where they burned out his eye?
So we can tell you a little bit about that. So they had a dummy.
You like how it just boiled out?
Okay.
So what it was is that it was actually a full dummy. It was actually a anatomically correct dummy, by the way, that was naked at one point on the set. So, and then they, it was actually, it was not Thomas Jane, but it was actually a cast of one of the makeup artists from like Walking Dead. So, and who happened to look a lot like Thomas Jane, and they put on basically made the face to make it look like him. And then in order to do the eye, they mixed all this blood and egg whites and egg yolks. So when the burning object comes towards the eye and you see like the sizzling and the popping, that's the egg that comes out. And so that's what, and he said like when it's yellow, that's when people get icky because it's such an unnatural color.
He was so excited.
He was so excited.
Yeah.
He was so excited. I do actually have like photographs of like certain scenes that did not make it into the film.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain like the ones the needles
under the needles under the thumb
under the nails
that did make it in.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. And I was actually surprised when it was announced that we got a rated R.
Yeah,
and I was just
there's no cuss words,
no cuss words,
nudity, but
there's no cuss words, no
nudity. The Crucible scene they decided was too violent, but it's being distributed on Amazon, so who really cares?
So let's actually talk about that too, because at this point, I don't think rated R was what it was 30 years ago, right?
No.
I think it takes a lot to get a rated R now. I understand
why, but they rated that movie R, which
I thought we would get a PG-13.
Yeah. But also it's changed because if you're on a streaming service like Peacock, a Netflix, an Amazon, a Hulu, a Paramount Plus, I mean, I don't know movie laws. I don't know what is it, the Federal Communications, like whatever they are, the FCC. Is it the FCC that monitors all this, or like the movie rating, whatever it is, right?
The MC, like
MCA.
There's
The
movie something
rating board or rating board.
rating agency
Rating board.
of America.
Yeah, there are certain things in films that will get you an R,
Yeah.
and among them is smoking. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
smoking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, smoking will actually give you almost
Well,
an
then
automatic R.
that's another reason why we got an R.
Yeah,
There we
that
go.
would have been what it's like. If it wasn't the torture scene, it was the smoking.
Yeah.
So
But my point that I'm making is that at this point, I don't even know if R's or PG-13s matter, right? I mean, I just looked at Ted season 2. That is rated R for sure, but it's on Peacock and it's over the top, and so whatever it's rated, it doesn't matter because it's not really being distributed on television. So and it's not being in a movie theater. It still should get a rating per se to give a fair warning, but like also, I mean, I would be fine showing if I had a 13-year-old, I'd be fine showing my 13-year-old this movie, right? I don't think it would scar my 13-year-old, right? I'm not about to go show my 13-year-old.
depends on the 13-year-old, but the thing is this is that it's also like a cultural thing. When you're in Europe, like gun violence is very heavily rated. So things like that, like actual like violence and murder and all that stuff is very heavily rated. Sex is not.
Yeah,
So
it's like the opposite
that is
here.
the absolute no. You can get a 2 rating with a sex scene. So like particularly in France and Italy.
They're freaks.
Yeah, particularly in France and Italy. But you have a gun out and you shoot someone in the head.
Yeah.
Even though there might be like no blood, that will give you a rating. That will absolutely give you a rating in Europe, but not here in America.
But when it comes to digital streaming, why does it even matter?
Yeah,
and
and
going to your point.
But to your point, yes. But also there are those who have the child restrictions as well.
Yeah.
So that is a thing as well. So.
But I guess the point I'm making is that, you know, and I think Preston said it well enough, is that at this point with digital streaming, it's kind of irrelevant. And I'll be honest, I mean, kids are going to get around it regardless.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true.
But you still want to provide protections to some degree. But, you know, I mean, that's what it is. But I mean, I'm curious how you feel, though, because obviously Amazon, it's on Amazon. That's how I watched it. And then it's all over the place on Apple and some other places. But that's a wide distribution at massively low distribution costs.
Yeah,
I mean, massively, and that didn't exist 20 years ago. I mean, with that, so and whether you love Amazon or hate Amazon, I love Amazon. So you know, but that's an open debate about what people love. It's still amazing the fact that everybody has Amazon.
There is a controversy, however, about like should things when they're distributed through streaming, should they even be entered in like the award ceremonies? That seems to be like the big thing. We're having that with like with some of the films that are coming on Netflix. They'll have like a limited release in the theater.
Netflix is
but
trying to get rid of the theater altogether.
Yeah, that is true.
So
you know. That is true. And
so if you want to say, we have to spend a lot of time in the theaters to be in the award show. Okay, well, that's going to be a weird stance if 10 years, you know.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 10 years from now, like, the theaters are gone.
So I personally do love the theater experience, and I hope it stays. But it is really difficult when they're only there for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and your life is busy.
Yeah,
I'd like to. You know, there's 3 weekends, and then the rest of the time I'm working. I'm going like that. That's not a lot of time for me to try to go to the theater and then like
spend 2 hours.
Spend 2 hours there.
It's funny. It's funny. So me and my friends, we go see all these old like Fathom events by AMC theaters. So like we saw Wrath of Khan 40th anniversary, and me and my friends were the youngest people in there. You know, we saw it like 2-3 years ago, but like there's all these people who saw it when it first came out 40 years ago, and we enjoyed it because it's that. And I've seen all these, like I saw the Fifth Element on I think it's 20th anniversary, but then we see all these anime films, but like we're not seeing, stuff like I mean, me and my friends saw the Mario movie and we enjoyed it, but like I'm not going to the movies all the time. I'll just wait till it comes out on either Netflix or Peacock or I'll just buy it or rent it for $6 because it's expensive, first off, and then secondly, I mean, I'd rather watch it in my own house drinking my whiskey, to be quite honest. So
and we can pause it. Yeah, to go to the bathroom. So, but I agree with that. So when I go to theater, I'm very picky about the films that I watch, and generally I am actually a lot like you. So I go see the Phantom films, but also there are Cowtown movie classics that we have here locally, which is run by my friend Ryan Boujan, and he'll bring in silent films with a live musician or films of Casablanca, award-winning black and white films, anniversary films. We got to see Jaws on there as well. I got to see the original Frankenstein on there. Got to see Nosferatu and all this stuff, and it's great to see it on that and to show film history on there. But the audience participation has been dwindling, and a lot of it has to do with advertisement as well. And it's hard, to get people out there and spend the money. And
it can be hard also because I feel like a lot of people want something original, but at the same time, people don't want to risk seeing something they don't already know they like.
Yeah. So and I think that's what goes with Hollywood. Like we want something safe and marketable.
Yeah.
And the thing is that then it satisfies nobody.
I mean, I've been in that situation. I saw an anime, right? And great thing, but the thing looked like a failed Kickstarter project. Beautifully animated. It was about 45 minutes, but it was like $15 a ticket, and I enjoyed it, and it was cool. But it was like Virgin Punk or Orange Virgin Punk, and like it was almost like a test anime, right? And my issue is that like awesomely done, beautifully high end, but like 45 minutes for this was rough. And so like that's the whole thing is that like original concept, kind of like Kite Liberator in a lot of ways, and a lot of fun, same director in the anime world. But like I was just like, yeah, like so that happens. But I took the risk, but I've also seen original stuff and it was really good. So like it's weird because it's I guess a toss up. And the way I view it is that it's only money. It's only money that I'm losing in reality. Because I'm seeing it with my friends and we're having a good time. And we would be seeing another movie and still having a good time if we were hanging out because we're still hanging out. The only thing that's lost is money. And once I've come to that conclusion, if I see a shitty movie, $15, not thrilled, not happy.
Yeah.
But it's still hung out with my friends and we're joking. And if it's a really good movie, we're just going to just bullshit in the middle of the movie. But like,
be fun.
Bad movies are fun, actually.
I remember when Bye Bye Man came out, me and my friends had the theater to ourselves, and we were like, "Oh, good, we can say whatever we want."
Oh, you say whatever you want. Yeah. I love watching bad films with an audience. So watching like really awful films, like cult films with an audience is really fun.
Our society is atomizing increasingly towards the individual, in no small part due to the captivating effect of smartphones being everywhere. And the fact that we don't get together in movie theaters is, I think, just a symptom of that.
It goes even further. COVID, so bars are actually struggling a lot. And the reason why bars are supposedly struggling is that the young generation isn't being trained in coffee shops to socialize, which is a prerequisite for how you should behave in a bar and socialize. And so when you're underage, you go to a coffee shop and you're meeting and engaging, and it affects bar culture, which also is very similar to movie culture and getting in a movie theater. And it's a mess. It's a mess. And that's why alcohol is down by like 25-35% sales. Bars are having a hard time because that socialization position is really, really tough. But like me and my friends are getting together this weekend in my house watching WrestleMania. So so the point though is that me and my friends are socializing, but we're doing it in my house. But there's no other way how to do that. If WrestleMania was in a movie theater, because I did that with my friends, and it was 6 hours, and it was awesome. It was a crazy party in that movie theater. It was amazing, 6 hours, and like it was a $45 ticket, and it was amazing. It's one of the greatest socialization experiences I've ever had because everybody was your friend in the theater. But like then COVID hit and it was rough.
It was rough, yeah.
So but like that's what's happened. So I absolutely agree. I think you put it very generously, to be honest. I think it's far worse than
far worse than it is. So I remember what was it? I'm a big Joe Bob Briggs fan. So we did a 12-hour marathon where he did a number of films together. It was a wonderful, it was literally like, I want to spend half a day with Joe Bob and like a bunch of nerds. Here we go, and with alcohol involved as well. So that was a fun time. But also, I always kind of recommended, have you ever been to see Godzilla film with Godzilla fans? Just like not even like a new Godzilla. I mean, like an old Godzilla film with just Godzilla fans, and it's a wonderful experience.
It's the same thing seeing an Ultraman film.
Yes, it is.
Oh, unbelievable! I saw Shin Kamen Rider, and that was crazy. Like the new one. Oh, that was awesome in that theater. And then the best thing I saw though in a movie theater was Spinal Tap.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun.
And I got hammered with my friends, and we snuck an alcohol, and then we snuck in like another 4 pocket shots, and I handed it out to like 3 other people, and it was insane, and it was super illegal. It's super. We got hammered, and but I agree.
But I will have to agree that like after COVID, a lot of the etiquette that went into the movie theater experience was completely gone. So people started bringing, one of the biggest things is please don't bring your crying kid into the theater. Please don't do that. Which is probably why I like Alamo Drafthouse, because no kids under a certain age are allowed. So so for a while I got sick of going to the regular theater because the etiquette was not there anymore. You couldn't enjoy a film anymore. And so I ended up just going to Alamo Drafthouse.
Well, in my defense, I have a niece. 3.5, and finding the Barbie movie, right?
Oh,
love the Barbie movie, love the music in it, but she couldn't do Inside Out. She was just having a bad day, and it wasn't working, right? But so but I agree with you. If your kid's 7. You got to figure out how to shut up your kid in a theater. But I agree. But I haven't had bad etiquette in a theater. But I digress. But again, if this movie was in a theater, I probably would not have seen it. I'm just letting you know. It was in my house, and it was relatively cheap. It was like $6 on Amazon, which is so helpful because that's the other thing too. Is that $15, $18, $21 for a movie? That's a lot of money.
It is.
And after a while, I say no thank you. So and that's the other thing that I think is interesting, right? I mean, $6 for a movie, that is technically, just an expense on my taxes for next year. Just saying, thank you for that. It's a tax deduction. It's R&D, it's research and development.
Also for you.
But like that's the other thing too that I think is really getting interesting about movies is that if you keep raising the prices, there's going to get a point where somebody says, "I'll just wait 4 months until it's on Peacock."
Well, sure.
That's true, but I also have to say that it's also wondering if a lot of this has to do with like the amount of money people have been pouring into making films, and it doesn't like we're putting like hundreds of millions of dollars into films now, and you don't see it on screen. But I know that we've had a lot of comments that with Frontier Crucibles, like every dollar you see on screen, every single one.
There you go. I got you a tuffet.
Thank you.
So, which is
I'm slowly getting taller.
That one of the comments that we've been told is just like with the budget that we had, which was about like what 2 million
1.1
1.1 million
1.1
million. It's like every single set is seen on screen. Every single set is seen on screen, and which and if anything, it's probably more than what it's worth. Because
as we were saying earlier, it doesn't look like
it doesn't look like a low budget film at points. So but when I watched something like Wakanda Forever, and I was just kind of going like, how much money did they pour into this thing? So it was like
it's funny, right?
Like, dang.
It's funny, right? I hate to attack Disney because I love Disney, but Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Stitch live action had a low budget, considering we compared against The Little Mermaid against The Lion King, and Lilo and Stitch beat the shit out of Little Mermaid. I mean, that live action did over $1 billion. Little Mermaid struggled. It struggled. And that movie had almost double what Lilo and Stitch had on a budget, and it did not look like it. Lilo and Stitch looked like it had $100 million budget. It looked like exactly, and it killed it, right? So I think there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said where managing a film's budget is appropriate. It's a skill, and God bless you if you can make it look better than what you had, right? I mean, it's a real skill, and I think it's. I don't want to say people blow money, but like that means you know how to make a dollar stretch, and you know how to fold the dollar, stretch it out, iron it, and then spend it twice without having to spend it twice, and then save 10 cents on the back end for a crisis.
And that's what I'm trying to put together our next movie deal and stuff. And that's just what I'm pointing to Frontier Crucible, and I'm saying to people, it's important to do a lot of prep work. Coming back to what Dan does with the storyboards and stuff, because when you don't have a lot of money to spend, you want to shoot as much as you can in as few days as possible, and the only way to do that efficiently is to have planned out your work ahead of time.
Does it help if they don't listen? Just saying.
But and
I could have saved it. they listened.
I'm gonna ask another question because I was speaking to a male photographer who plans these trips with women cosplayers, and what he said to me, and I'm curious, and I think it's going to apply a little bit, is that he said if he has to vet the 7 women, because if one of them is off in the group, it will form cliques in the group and it will make the whole photo shoot that he's planning a disaster. So I don't know how you feel, not necessarily about that, but applying that same logic where when you're building out a team, building out actors and actresses, you got to find the right group also with efficiency, because if you have one bad apple on your team, it's going to fuck shit up, I would imagine, right?
Well, what you need is somebody like Jeff Dawn, who's a grizzled veteran, who will just put you in line and be like, I got an Oscar at home on my shelf. I don't need to be here with you. You shut the hell up.
So like any team, so we had our.
I mean, what we went from like pitch to shooting in 2 months. We didn't have like a lot of time to put. So we were just filling seats, and so a lot of times like some people came over from the Pendragon or Cycle Rise of Merlin, and that was cool. But a lot of people, like Avery and Dan.
Oh, and lady who was so we also had people who had to like come in to take over because the lady from Lost. So we had we were down a makeup artist, like we need help with more makeup.
Right.
And Jeff was like, I know someone.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies, one of the makeup artists from Lost TV series came in for like a few days, and she told us stories, and she was just like fantastic lady, and came in. Some of our interns, our PAs rotated, so we never had like the same PAs, but we had to kind of like, hey, we need this, and it's like, we're all trying to make the same film. We're all trying to work together, and you just need to push all that bullshit aside and just like we're on the same project. We all want this to work, so get all that stuff out of the way, and just we need to get this done. So
fair enough.
Yeah, there are arguments, but figure it out as quickly as possible, get it done. So
and I haven't worked on large budget productions, but I've read, I wish I just remember the guy's name, but he talked about, like working on a small production versus working on a big production. And he's like, working on a small production, you're there and you're talking with everyone, like all the department heads, everyone that they're there and you're talking with them. When it's a big budget production, like these departments are now so huge that you're no longer really interacting with them directly. And then he's he characterized it as like you're running like a big cruise ship, and you're kind of sitting in the captain's chair and you're barking out orders, but like
you're hoping that they'll listen.
You're hoping that they listen.
Yeah. And also it was great to have like a great first assistant director,
right?
Which is Adam. And he had to translate a good deal from Travis. And he was like the broker of everybody.
Yeah,
he really was. And he did a fantastic job trying to smooth out the arguments and everything.
And you learn like the people that are really good at doing that, like Adam.
And it was also Lily, the line producer, was also a really good one. Trying to get everybody in line and in order. So
So obviously there's a lot of shit that happened here. It's obviously out there. It came out a while ago. It's been out there for a while, right?
Came out in December, so it's been out there for 5 months.
So
Are we including this month?
I mean, why not?
Okay, then yes.
It is tax day, so it technically counts. So there you go. But jokes aside, obviously. So, I mean that's just that. So obviously, I mean it's been out there, and I mean it's pretty cool that it's out there for almost 5 months now, and that obviously people are watching it, and there you go. So obviously it's on Amazon, it's on Apple TV, several others. I mean, you probably know where it's at. I mean, I watched it on Amazon. I put the Amazon link in there for a reason, because I'm an Amazon guy, and I may or may not have a vested interest in Amazon, so as a shareholder, but not the point here. Everything about it, nothing is free. Nothing is free in this world. And I might also be into Bitcoin, but that's a different discussion.
Get them started.
Don't worry, I'm also a dividend stock guy, so maybe that's better credibility, right?
I keep trying to get her to open a brokerage. She's got so much money in checking account. It pains me.
I don't see why this is relevant.
We were discussing about investing briefly.
Okay.
I know it's a dig, right? I mean, for those who don't know, me and Preston have had public arguments about this in a fun, jesting way. Hopefully, it was fun and jesting.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I'm sure those conversations are riveting.
Well, I'm sticking my shiny rocks.
but
do you have any other questions?
What did you say?
Do you have any other questions for us?
I got a million questions, but not about the movie. But I mean, this actually. So obviously, I mean, the movie's out there. It's on Amazon, Apple TV. But I am curious where you feel movies are going, because we touched upon it a little bit. But so I am a fan. I'm a big anime consumer. I'm a big television consumer. I don't want to produce it, and I think when you produce a movie, you tend to have a different viewpoint, right? Because I don't think. And if you think I'm wrong in this, once you create something in a certain sector, I don't think you can simply table the creation side of your brain off. I think it changes the way you do something and view it.
Yeah, it's when we're talking about the movie, I encourage both myself and others to not invest a lot of time in talking about the movie that could have been, because when you're making it, there's you're working towards the possibility, and you want this and you want this and you want this, but there's all these different people and there's compromises, and then when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, that's good, but I wanted it to be that, and you're thinking about, but this, it could have been that, and so in your mind, because you were there, you read the script, you visualize it, and you're like, but I wanted that and I wanted that, and I don't want to, diminish the importance of the finished movie and instead talk about the movie that never was, or the movie that could have been, or I would have liked this other thing, or what if we cast that person or something, because I think then you end up with George Lucas syndrome, where you have to keep going back and fixing it. It could have been this, or why not it? And it's let it be as a piece of art that we all came together and made. It's good.
So where do you feel that I guess the future movies are going? Not necessarily this movie or what your next movie is, but collectively producing and filming content, because we touched on it before, but we're in a weird space, right? Yeah. Like that I think it's easier and harder at the same time, because there's so much fucking content, right, being produced, and getting attention is a nightmare, right? I mean, I put up something today on TikTok and it got legitly 2,000 views in a minute, and I'm like, and then I put out the same thing on Facebook and it gets 3, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm so confused, and I haven't put anything on TikTok in almost 7 months, and I'm so confused. Because the content is pointless, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's decent, but it's 39 seconds of somebody talking about fighting Katie Forbes, which is irrelevant, right? To anything that brings any semblance of information to anybody. So I'm curious how you feel, because to me, this is just such a weird spot we're in with content creation. So much is being produced, so much of it is great, and so much of it is bad at the exact same time. And it's mind confusing to me.
I think I don't think movies are going to change too much. I think we're still going to have IP mining and so on for the foreseeable future.
Oh, unfortunately.
I mean, until something big happens, there'll be some big cultural event, and then we'll reference it. 9/11 was a cultural event, and it kind of changed, I guess, how we were looking, and you can kind of see it reflected in the movies at the time. And right now, I think we're still going in the same direction that we've been going in for, quite frankly, since then, since we got into the 2000s, and we haven't really changed direction yet. But I think that will be coming about in the next few years. But I can't predict the next cultural event and the shift that's going to result from it. Those things are almost by definition unpredictable.
For me, tastes evolve, but they also circle around. So, as I said before, it's like Westerns have come back. When you have like a difficult time, people want escapism, certain genres come back. When certain events happen, like war events, even like desperations like that, films come back. And certain films come back, like musicals come back whenever there's like a devastating, like tragic event, and you just want escapism and things like that. Because there's something about like the musical being transported to something that's so fantastical that you want this joy to come out, and because people are now so desperate for just joy. When it comes to depression, when tragic events happen, horror seems to come out of nowhere. As like almost every 10 years, horror comes back. Huge events. Back in the 30s, we had, we had the Depression. We had the musicals come back because of the Depression. Then the war came out, and then it became like horror films. And then the atomic age happened, and then all of a sudden we have like giant monster films. And then it's like all this stuff just kind of comes out. Pulp films came out in the 40s. So genres will return. We're getting to a fatigue now. I feel we're getting a fatigue now with
Definitely.
IPs.
Yeah.
With IPs, reboots.
We're tired of the culture that we're in, but
we're getting into like this nostalgia culture right now. Where everything's like just rebooting the same stuff. Reasons why is because it's safe.
Yeah.
It's marketable. It's stuff like that. But now we're getting to the point where we don't want safe films anymore. We actually want films that actually are original and take risks
and challenge us
and actually like make us think. So while other ones want mindless entertainment. So but this always seems to happen in cycles. So don't know when the next cycle is going to happen. I have a feeling that fantasy is probably going to end up coming back.
It has in books.
It has in books. It's huge in books right now. And I have a feeling that that's going to be coming back. Now, we had a drop of it because of, I kind of feel that it was due to like
the end of Game of Thrones. The end of Game of
Thrones. Because
Thrones.
everybody was so disappointed in that.
Yeah.
And now that was just like, oh, fantasy now sucks. And now we're trying to get back into that as more fantasy films are coming out. But the thing is that unfortunately they're all reboots of things that have already been done.
Yeah, like more Game of Thrones.
More Game of Thrones and more Harry Potter. And now we're getting into like Percy Jackson's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just kind of going like, original content. Come on. Come on, give me that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that. I'm hoping that with the coming of like Christopher Nolan and other such directors, we're going back to practical effects rather than CGI, because people are not sick of CGI. People are now sick of AI, and people just want to see like actual things that are on screen, that are actually there, And now that we're practical effects are like, people are now going like, I miss practical effects. Yeah, but the thing is that then the studio will chicken out and then add CGI, and this happens a lot.
Yeah.
Tate
Who worked on our movie?
Who worked on our movie? Worked
He did
on
the eyeball.
he did the eyeball and all this other stuff, but he worked on the reboot of The Thing.
It wasn't a reboot, it was a prequel.
Well, it was a prequel of The Thing. Prequel of The Thing. That was all practical effects. And then the studio chickened out and put CGI over it and ruined the entire experience. So everybody, like, you could have had it great. And he showed me, like, the original stuff for what he did for The Thing. And I'm going like, that sucks so much that did not come out. And that whatever you had on screen was this CGI mush, and it was just so bad. It was
so forgettable.
It's so forgettable, but like the story itself was good. But it's just that special effects sucked because they chickened out, and they thought like, oh no, CGI is how we're gonna solve this. It's like no, no, it's not. But that's with technology that's coming out now. You would think that practical effects would go in.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right.
I have to go get ready for work tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thanks for stopping.
And obviously, I mean, you know, I think that's a awesome place to stop. I mean, those are all my questions, and yeah, I mean, beyond just everything else that you have done, Preston. I mean, that you and me have gone through over the last. I think you've been on my show like 8 times.
Awesome.
So, but obviously, I want to give you both the chance to promote yourself. So where can people find Pocket Jack? Where can people
I mean, I got a website, pocketjackscomics.com. I just handed in the script for Lords of Iron 2, so soon there'll be another Kickstarter I can have you promote for me. And
I got nothing else to do in my life right now.
And also, we're getting into role-playing games.
I'm working on a script.
And Diane's working on
a
script.
I'm working on a script. So for those who don't know, I'm also I work as a graphic artist and illustrator for a manufacturing company that makes life-size animatronic dinosaurs.
How would anybody know that?
Nobody would.
Nobody would know.
Nobody would know that. So I make robot dinosaurs, yes. And but one of those films that I grew up with was Valley of Gwangi. And I've always wanted to see that readapted. You kind of had it with the new Jurassic World, the last one with Chris Pratt, where they had a scene they stole from Valley of Gwangi. But the thing is that I'm currently writing a script called Not Gwangi because I don't have a name for it yet. And Warner Brothers still has the copyright on it.
She envisions it as a reboot of Valley of Gwangi. Yeah.
But right now it's just called Not Gwangi right now. Yeah. So until there's some rights or no rights, something. But there's that, and we're still looking for scripts.
We are.
And on that note, finding good scripts is very difficult. So, and scripts good enough to want.
Yeah, it's sad these days because
it's really hard to find a good script.
Yeah, having been around screenwriting for a while, I've read my share of amateur scripts, and now I look back on them fondly because they were written by hack writers. Now they're handed in and they weren't even written by hack writers. They're written by ChatGPT or Claude or something.
Oh God,
I miss the old days.
Yeah. Now that we've read so many AI scripts, it's just kind of like, man, I would really love to read a terrible script right now.
That would be
written by a human being.
Yeah.
so just written by an actual human being with errors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's in part why I keep making comics and telling other people to make comic books who come to me with their ideas. I'm like, sounds good, make it into a comic book, is because it's something you can do profitably or at least break even, or not lose much. and you can tell an independent story. You can develop an audience, and it's
easily
real storytelling.
and it's also adaptable to.
And yeah, if you make some cool thing, then some studio executive might be like, yeah, we'll make that. Throw a bunch of money at you.
It's literally those are the storyboards right there. That's the storyboards of your film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I don't disagree. And then obviously, I mean, where can people find you guys on social media? Because that's the other thing too that's big. And
I'm on X at Comics Jacks, and I don't know. You as a.
I'm a Facebook person.
Yeah, but you don't have like a company Facebook. It's just sort of a personal Facebook.
Well, this is my personal Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. So there you go. Trinimation.
You can get in touch with her through Pocket Jacks Comics. There you go.
There you go.
And then since it's my show, obviously I'm going to promote my stuff. Obviously, I am on X, but my X has recently changed. Unfortunately, I got suspended on X.
Boy, you suspended on X. You must have been dropping some really hot takes.
Yes, I was. But
I mean,
not what you think.
Suspended on X. Oh man.
They suspended my account permanently.
Oh.
Whoa.
Because I had some harsh opinions on Carlos Mendoza, on his coaching style of the New York Mets.
Okay.
And I thought I was justified. I still think I'm justified, and I'm just disappointed that I didn't go further. It was more extreme. So hey, I had some hot takes on the Yankees too.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry that you don't know how to coach a team that is overly paid. I call out bullshit, but apparently X thought it was promoting violence. So I didn't think it was, but I created a new one. And his name is King9. So yeah, that is my new Twitter account, and I am continuing the hot takes with more extremity. Because I want to prove the point and make my case that I created another account and showed the more extreme to make the other account look like it's peanuts. So I don't know if it's going to work or not, but slowly rebuilding.
Andrew.
But all jokes aside, obviously that is my new Twitter account. In the process, Instagram is Pop Anime Comics, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, Pop Anime Comics on the YouTube. Please subscribe; makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
But not on X.
What did you say?
So it's not Pop Anime Comics on X.
No, it was.
Yeah, because it's what is written down there.
I didn't fix
your suspended account. That's all I'm saying.
Pop Anime Comics 1.
Yeah.
I didn't update it yet. I've been a little busy.
I don't know that it's a little Twitter bird.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's now it's a black X.
Sorry, you're using the dead name.
Yeah, you do dead naming Twitter.
Yeah, well, you know what it is that's just how we roll here. It's how we roll in. I've been lazy. I got to update all this anyway. It's been a trying time.
I understand. I'm with you. I'm helping any way I can, Andrew.
I'm gonna choke. I'll laugh because it's funny for all the wrong reasons. But anyway, obviously TikTok, Pop Anime Comics, and then I have an eBay store, everybody, where I buy and sell comics and cards. For comics and collectibles, come shop with us on eBay. It has been a tough year last year on eBay too.
Oh yeah, it's been rough.
That's a different discussion for a different day. I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, the comics on just in general, I feel like indie comics have fallen off quite a bit in like the last couple of years. And
I got my ass kicked on a lot of things last year, and I would say that my sales were down by about 35%.
Wow.
It was a rough year, and I agree that indie comics, things that used to hold better, don't hold well anymore. And even at $5 at $8, so I'm not going to name names, but I used to buy stuff wholesale for like $10, and I can't even move them for $5.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do in the circumstance except just find better product and just count it as loss and move on and try.
I like Kickstarter. Kickstarter's a good thing. You know, it's a good audience. So what I do is I know other creators,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, like I don't have my own comic coming out every month. So other people who make a book, like John Lamont, you know, I will be like, hey, what if I commission my own cover and put it on your book? And so, you know, I buy these serialized limited edition, and I'm gonna do another Kickstarter for that, and I'll have to promote it. And like a month or two, where this is somebody else's book, but it's got my cover on it, it's limited edition, and you know, I'll go to Kickstarter and I make more than enough to pay for it, and so that is a evergreen area of profit that I discovered, and I like it. And it's social. You got to know people and go, hey, I want to cover your book and stuff. Supporting small creators.
Where I'm at in my business is that I want to leave comics, and I like cards a lot more. They're easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So a lot of cards, limited 25s.
Pokemon.
I mean, it's like sports stuff, limited hunting variants, hunting parallels, all that stuff. Like it's just more predictable, and I find it just easier to deal with. I find that there's less drama. I find that there's less bullshit, right? And I find it's less poisoned. I really think the well in comics has been poisoned, and I think there's a lot of people who have done a lot more damage, and I think there's actually debasement of comic currency. We look at Dynamite is a good example of this, and nothing against Dynamite. I mean, but like they're releasing so
against Dynamite.
What?
I got something against Dynamite. Yeah.
So no. I mean, it's nothing against them. They're just the best example of it. IDW with My Little Pony is doing the same thing, where they're doing all these blind bags, and they're producing so many variants that a variant is no longer special.
Yeah.
Not to blast anybody and attack anybody personally, but like that's the problem, is that when you produce 500 variants of the same comic series, it's no longer special. Like, and it's no longer that I need to have it because there's another one coming out in 2 weeks. So if I miss one, I don't feel like there's no FOMO, there's no fear of missing out. And I'm like, and that's my problem, is that it's the same thing with Zenoscope, is that you overpopulate something so much. And I love Joe and I love Ralph.
It's very saturated.
It is, and it's gonna go back to like the 90s comic bubble, and it's gonna burst. I feel that
I feel it is bursting. That's why his sales are down.
Bursting already, and that's
and all the good stuff. All the good stuff is going to be good. Like a 601, J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man 601, that's always going to be fine. An Ultimate Fallout 4 is always going to be fine. But like a bunch of this stuff, it's like the new Harley Quinn variant by DC. That's not going to be fine. It's not. And it has nothing to do with the art. The art isn't the problem. It's the fact that there's so much of it. That's the problem. I don't know. Like I don't know if. Are you scratching your head because it's a bad situation I just said, or is it just you're like itchy?
I was scratching my nose and my eyes. No. I was just like,
I don't know how to read.
As someone who was an avid comic book reader and then stopped because I got really, really fed up with the major event lines. They would do like the universe-wide events that cut off my story in the middle of it, and then don't finish off because of this event wide story, and I get very, very angry over that. So because I would like my storyline to finish. I don't want you to stop in the middle of it because the entire DC world is blowing up because Flashpoint is happening, or because Superboy Prime was doing something else, or the friggin' Clone Wars are happening. I don't care. I want my stories, my arcs. Thank you. But and this is becoming a big problem as well because it's all about these event comics, these special comics coming out, and they're just like, well, what about the other story? And they're like, we don't care because they don't sell as much.
It's complicated too. I mean, there's the whole thing where anybody could buy a variant. I can go call up DC tomorrow and I could print 2,000 of a trade dress and 1,000, pay them what they want, go hire an artist, drop $8,000 and get the whole thing done, and now I have 3,000 copies. And I don't even have a store now. It's a Pop Anime Comics collectibles exclusive on eBay. Just like that. That kills the market, and that's another 3,000 of a book, either by DC or Marvel, that's now in the marketplace. That makes it that, okay, cool. So Absolute Batman number 25, maybe not Absolute Batman, but any book. So it's a mess, and this is why I want to leave comics, because there's such debasement on it that it's going to burst and it's going to be a disaster. But I digress. But I have a lot of books, so if somebody wants to buy my books, I'll sell you Xenoscope, I'll sell you Big Dog Ink, I'll sell you a lot of stuff. I'll sell you Mount Olympus stuff dirt cheap. I'll sell some like Power Hour dirt cheap. I mean, I'll sell it all. I'll sell White Widow. I got no problem selling all this stuff dirt cheap because, again, it's just got to move.
Yeah.
Inventory.
That's what I've been doing. I've just been putting them together in big lots.
Oh,
a lot of like 70 books. There you go, 70 books, $220 sold. Moving on, yeah.
Moving on.
Maybe I'll take your playbook on that. You pack up like 25 books, put it up for like $70 or like 50, and just get rid of them because it's just too much space, and I don't care. I mean, I just want to add it.
You got to get it out.
Gotta move it.
Yeah, got to move it.
I'll just take a tax loss, and then I'll be fine. And then and then you find better product, and then I'll invest in gold.
There you go.
Yay!
Or a gold ETF. I don't know. Are you anti-gold?
Yeah, good. Well, you're in gold ETF.
I am in gold ETF.
So yeah.
Silver.
And silver.
I mean, I should let you look at my financial portfolio. You actually might like. I mean, I'm a big dividend guy. I don't think you're anti-dividend, right?
No, I mean, who's anti-dividend? Dividends are awesome.
I love my dividend stocks, but that's neither here nor there. But obviously, that's everything I got going on, and I'll give you the final word.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Andrew. I know we're at a tough time. In the immortal words of Dalton from Roadhouse, it'll get worse before it gets better. I wish I had better news for you, but I don't.
Well, on that note, I don't think I could have said that any better myself, everybody, and that is a wrap.